We could do better than that, but because of COVID, we know definitely that from the 1.3 billion, if not COVID, we would have doubled into 2.6. That is the economy that we were running before the COVID. And through a great sector. I have a great news for you, but the man says, please, let the world market itself tell Ghanaians. Great news. First in history. What we have done. Maybe by September you will hear. By September you will hear what we have done in the agri sector. So be proud of yourself that we've done well. You see, you sit here, anytime there's no food, they'll say there's no rainfall. How many times in 4 years have we experienced the rainfall? And still, there's constant food. Constant food. Prices. I saw some evil man who, when they say Brunsam, Brunsam is not in any way, no spiritual lazy Brunsam, a bogus. But Brunsam, a man who called village women and men, uneducated men and women, put them in a room, coaching them. Wow! This is the kind of people we have in this country. When food is everywhere, in 12 months, we have food. It's not by magic. It's by prudent management. And some NDC guys have enjoyed it. I was talking to Honorable Akando, and he said, oh, Honorable, you praising Ibrahim, now everybody wants to go and buy Jata cement. Praise me small because my rice. I'm producing rice. And I said, oh, I'm Mom Kakreni. We did them who said that, then I'll go there and talk about it. But the good thing he said was that, my brother, I produce between 600 and 1,000 tons. Yes. His challenge is that, ask him, why is it that the local rice is more expensive than the imported one? Then he said, which is true, that in advanced countries, developed countries, they subsidize the farmers, but here we don't. And he made one important thing. If you don't tolerate your opponent, you wouldn't know certain things. When talking to me, he said, and it's true, that the subsidy, they give it to the small farmers, 10 bags of fertilizer, and they can produce 4 or 5 bags, or 1 ton. The big farmers that can drop or bring prices down, they don't get any subsidy. That is why his rice is expensive. Yeah. No subsidy. So engaging in conversation with him, I said, my young man is making sense. So I've spoken to finance minister. Say, let's look at this. This is what the gentleman said. He's very busy. But he has here, no politics. That is why he called me. He respects this brain and I respect his brain. So when he made that contribution, I went to minister and said, look, let's look at this thing. Because if somebody can produce 1,000 tons and you are not giving him subsidy or help, our prices will never drop. And people, demand and supply and cost, will let them, the poor people, will buy the cheaper things because, Charlie, all I want to feel in my stomach is that I'm full. Yes. So if your local rice, the argument they make is baseless. Your local rice is 350 50 kilo bag. The Indian ones and the Chinese are 250, 270. So the difference is either 90 or 70 Ghana cedis. So it's put on it for me, the consumer, to go and buy. Simple. The cost of local rice is more expensive than the imported one. and looking at my pocket and what is there, I'll have no choice than to go for the imported one. By choosing to buy the imported one, I am knocking the Ghanaian business out of the business because their product will be there, gets spoiled, and nobody will buy. This is a symptom in basic principles of economics. A symptom in economics. Simple. So the gospel according to Ken is that make your farmers comfortable and your trade surplus will triple. That is where you get your money. When there's less stress on the dollar, you can sell it cheap for people to buy and do other things. So we are doing very well. Let's go to health. Health. We sit here. I'm in Parliament for 20 years. This term will be 24 years, which I'll call it off. In 2015, we were there, young man, when they brought these ambulances. Empty. They were empty. You know how much it cost? Those empty ambulances that they brought was $79,000 each. And there were no accoutrements in the ambulance. What do we see today? Now within 4 years, we were able to import 307 ambulances to help. That Dr. Zakaria or whatever should be fired. Yeah, using national ambulance to carry cement. You can give me any excuse from heaven. He has to be fired. That is the only way we can fix this country. Because anything goes wrong in MPP, they will blame Ekufuor. So if your drivers are using it to carry cement, do I know any driver? I don't know the drivers there. I know Dr. Zakaria. He has to be fired. Yes. If you really want to fix this country, he should be fired. I have information. When I was going to US, a frantic call came to me, and the lady was saying, oh, my landlady is seriously sick. We want ambulance to take her to 37 military hospital. The driver is asking for 300 Ghana cedis. Yes, I wish. 300 Ghana cedis, ambulance. Binding Sikakoto. And those guys are well paid. They are well paid. Even when they were in training, they were receiving 1,700 each. Yes, I took 2 guys, so I know. They are well paid. Another story, he said, when they got to 37, there was no bed at the emergency ward or whatever. So they couldn't remove the woman, and the ambulance operator said, if he's going to leave the structure for them, they have to pay another $350. Now, the question is not the money. It's not the money. What about if you get another call to go and pick another patient? Which structure are you going to use? You know, we should not just consume information. We should always digest. That is why I digested Dr. Zakaria's skills that they took, the ambulance was faulty and they took it to, I asked a simple question. How long has the ambulance been here? How long has it been here? Is it part of the 307 fleet? Are you saying the ambulance has been there for 1 year, 6 months? Please, tell that to the dogs. They are all kids. So it should be fired right away. 307 ambulances. Then comes to the famous, that small disease. How that small disease has exposed the so-called superpowers. COVID. COVID has exposed America, has exposed Britain, Germany, all the superpowers, COVID, I almost small. Yeah, pandemic. I would have agreed with anybody saying COVID, fix it if we are not under pandemic. That I will agree. If you tell me to fix it, it's not a bad thing. But this pandemic, every country is suffering. You should listen carefully so that when you go, you tell friends, brothers and sisters, parents that are complaining that there's hardship. I am telling you, I'm just coming from America. The hardship is everywhere. You know the trick? I was watching TV, the news, and they were exposing the supermarkets. You know what they do? Now, if this phone, mine is Huawei, don't laugh at me. This phone, this size, is 1,000 cedis. Now they reduce the size and still sell it at 1,000 cedis. So when you go and it's in the bag, you will not even know that it's been reduced. Just to make their money. In America, of all people. I like scones. Scones, I don't know how to describe it, it's like cake. You have raisins, other granules, you know, Whole Foods in my area in West Orange. You go there, scones, $1.50. This time, I went there, I'm going to buy scones. And it's $2.50. And it's so flat. Yes. I couldn't buy scones. I said, how am I going to pay $2.50? I'm used to the $1.50. That is the situation. My daughter graduated from Cornell this last week, Saturday. The condition is that 2 people can come. Myself and the mother went. Second condition is that you need to have your COVID test. Whether you are fully vaccinated or not, you should have your COVID test. You know how much it cost me in New Jersey? $165. I have my receipt. How much do we pay for COVID test here? As a Ghanaian. Now, me on say class na wo me home team minim almost system science dey na me nya de kura biology me nya 7 economics 1 history 1 BP 1 we have 4 ones and a 2 3 3 biology 7 kill that drawing on the team but my classmate, I mean, I got a message from him that he's in town or London. He actually begged me to go and write. I didn't want to write. In fact, biology. That's why I respect medical doctors and those in the sciences and the, you know. Now, we took the test on Friday. Went to Cornell, Ithaca on Saturday. I'm coming back on Tuesday. So the 72 hours, I have to go and do another test. You know how much they charged me? The same place I went there. I said, oh, I was here, yeah, we have you on our system. Okay, I'm coming to do the COVID test again. Are you traveling? I said, yes. No, the bro be technical way, PCR. I said, what is PCR? I just did this on Friday for 165. I said, no, you are traveling, you need PCR. You know how much PCR costs? $200. Yeah, I have all my receipts. I had to go to London, from West Orange to London, to do the PCR test for $200. And you see, when you get Ghanaians coming from outside, they get to the airport and they want to throw their weight about. You pay $200, and when you get here, they ask you to pay $150. You got a problem. You got a problem yourself. You are not telling the whole world the truth. Everywhere, COVID has exposed the developed countries. How much more we, the developing countries? Let me give you some statistics. It's just here. Debt to GDP ratio that my colleagues on the other side are talking about that our debt to GDP ratio is 76.5%. America, debt to GDP is 98.2%. UK, debt to GDP is 100.98. Japan, about 20 years ago, they were the richest economy. Debt to GDP in Japan is 367%. Debt to GDP, Italy, 137%. Debt to GDP, Belgium is 98. Debt to GDP, Portugal is 167. Okay? France, 101.3. The only country that beats Ghana is Germany, 62.1. Germany is 62.1 debt to GDP. Debt to GDP simply means that in a whole year, what the government, goods and services, value of goods and services in the country, if it is 120 million, America is telling you that their debt is about 116 million. So they have only 4 million. If it is Japan and it's 120 million, it means they are around 500 million against their 120 million GDP. So Ghana, if it is 100 million, it means we are 76.5 million. We still have a room of what? 24.5. Can you compare that to 98.2? That they have 0.8 and they are 100%. Their debt to their GDP is, and France is over, Portugal is over, Italy is over, Spain is over, Belgium is 98. My brother, we are not doing badly. Clap for Akufo-Addo and Keneforiata. They've done well. And you know, most economies, in Europe especially, I have the Germany chairman here, they have not even opened the economy fully. Canada is still closed. One of the richest nations in the world, one of the best managed economy in the world is Canada. Today, there's a shutdown. And when you get to Canada airport, to quarantine, you pay 3,500 Canadian dollars. 2,000. And if you refuse to quarantine, they give you sermons of 3,500 Canadian. Is that what we see here? I saw a pastor talking about how I'm in London. The system is working. Now, we preaching the system, we're going to have working. We're preaching. Relying on God for everything. You have forgotten yourself that your preaching is also a part of the system. Why it is not working. And they go there. Even what you were describing, Ghana started as far back as March 20th, 2020. That when you get to the airport, they quarantine you. Before you go home, they will test you. My daughters came, they were Kempinski. You have to test them again to make sure they are negative before they were allowed to come home. Those who tested positive, they visited them, checked their contacts, the people, and also tested those people. This is what the pastor saw in the UK and said the systems work. When we, the great Ghana under Akufo-Addo, we know what time it is. We started March 2020. and you go and stand in London doing your exercise, and the system is working. Stop preaching bogus to us so that we use our brains to work and not rely on God for everything. Also for Netiano, but I have created you in my own image. Ask yourself every morning when you wake up, look into the mirror and ask God, is that the image of you? Yes. Before you start going out there and challenge God that you say that you've created me in your own image, then let me see signs. Let me think. And let the system work. It's as simple as that. So if the system will work, tell them you are here. It's opportunity for you to go and answer them. It is not only two-way street, husband and wife, government and the people. The people also obey the laws of the country. That is why the systems are working. So as a pastor, a priest, preach for your members to abide by the law and stop stealing and rely on God by chanting. You are crazy. You're speaking in tongues, you are crazy. Go and work. I'll tell you the truth. I work. I bust my fucking head here thinking how I'm going to make money and create jobs for the youth. My steel plant, minimum 1,200 Ghanaians are going to work over there. Wow. This is what I'm thinking in my head. My wife keeps telling me, please, you haven't failed. You're going to die. And leave this. You have to stop thinking. I am thinking because of you. I feel so guilty standing here as a politician talking to you. We have done a disservice to the youth of this country. Why? My daughter graduated on Saturday from Cornell University. Tuesday, she started working. You, what have we done to you? What is your fate? That is why you hear me screaming at these politicians who don't love the country and they think of themselves. We have to create jobs. And if you can create jobs, I'll tell you, religion is impeding progress in this country. Religion is impeding progress in this country. They don't allow us to think and use our brains to work. We are over-reliant on God for everything. If God wanted us to rely on Him like that, He would have created us just like the birds, who will not plant anything and do anything. Fly in the evening, go and eat, and just go back to sleep. But God created us as superior human being over His all His creation. That is why He gave us this. We are not being allowed to use our brains to make the money. Yes, sir. Read Ecclesiastes 10:19. I say, food is for laughter. Wine is for merrymaking. Money answers it all. Yes. So anybody who will tell you, and I'll pay pescado, and I'll pay wedo. Hey, pesca. We are going to die one day. That's no question about it. But if we have money and we are sick, some sicknesses, money will save you easily. I have a friend who had COVID from Holland. He was from Holland and had it here. Not that he doesn't have money, but he came for holidays and he got this. He needed 22,000 for oxygen. If I had not paid, he would have died. Aww. So money can give you oxygen. That is what COVID at least has taught us. So let's work. Take your destiny into your own hand. And sky is the limit. You gotta work. Work. And what any man has done, you can do it too. It's just a question of time and determination. Whoever thought Agyapong, that poor soul from a sing donkey. Today, when a disco guys hear my name, they applaud. That's a great guy. I was not born in a rich home. No.
Santa.
You got it, boy. Yes. A poor soul like myself, today, you wasted all your time just to come and listen. Look, you can do better than me. You can do better than me. It's just determination. Irrespective of the family you came from or you belong, your determination will change your life completely. And I'll tell you, the right word, I'm not going to use it because they may misquote me. But I tell you, my philosophy to survive in this country. I went to America, they were asking me, how did you make it? I said, in a society with a bunch of ignorance, the few wise men succeed. So be among the few wise men and carry the fools along. And some of the fools will change and emulate you and will deliver this country. That is it. That is it. So don't be shy of Ghana. It's a great nation that is between you and me that can make a difference. That is why I'm here. I wouldn't have come back because we're late. But I said, look, they look up to me. Let me share this story with them. We want to see that one day you meet me somewhere, that time I'll be old. He said, Honorable, you used to be a Sin Central MP. We met at Nut Hall. He said A, B, C, D. I used it, and today, here I am. I'm somebody who thinks of my children's future. I'm somebody who thinks of the future of the youth of this country. It is not my selfish interest, riding in Rolls Royce, what? With all this, what I've said, still is vanity. Yeah, I've said all this. My Rolls Royce, I think for the past 5 years, I've not even started the engine. Now I hear when we were going to start it, it didn't start. But I bought it just to make a statement that I said on the Besumaba. So ladies and gentlemen, what the foundation we are laying is determined or going to determine the future of you. And with this foundation, we are praying that COVID will end this year. In 2022, 2023, you'll see different economy that will shape in your future, that will shine your future. I was talking to the president, I was saying, Mr. President, you have taught me something. What you have taught me is that if a man is determined to achieve something with perseverance, he will achieve it. That is why, irrespective of the criticisms of the free SHS, you believe in it and have faith, and it has worked. Now, your next step is industrialization. Because it is the industries that will create jobs. So 2022, you see the number of companies that will spring up so that we can absorb students that are coming out of college. Because if my daughter should finish on Saturday and Tuesday as a job, and I have a lot of applications, parents are bringing their wards, begging me, or their children begging me to get them jobs, then I ask myself, what kind of politician I am? I'm not able to make a difference. My daughter's sister, Saturday, graduated from Cornell, and Tuesday she's working. I have to do same as a politician before I die. All I need from you is long prayers, long life. My ambition is to at least create about 50,000 jobs as a man before I die. Now I've done maybe 10% of it. And when I go, my happiness is that I go to my sites, see people working, and I say to myself, wow, Kwame Agyapong, Fumpa, and they have all these workers working for Accra Bonhomone. But I'll continue to do more. So my message to you is that MPP has laid the foundation for you, for your future. It's up to you to take advantage of it. Criticize when it is necessary to criticize. Don't lament every time. Use the lamentation to be creative. Create something for yourself. And one day, you'll be somebody. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can do better.